In this video, we're going to be talking about how to promote your church on Facebook, part 2. All right, welcome back. So in part 1 of this series, we actually broke down everything you need to do before you launch your Facebook campaign. And in this video, we're actually going to walk you through the practical steps of how exactly to set up the campaign and what you need to do in order to make sure that you reach everyone within driving distance of your church. Okay, so in part 1, we talked about figuring out what exactly is it that we're trying to promote. So let's just say that we are trying to promote a brand new sermon series on Sunday morning, and we're trying to get people to plan a visit to that sermon series. We talked about the importance of creating a hook, so let's use the hook from the Brainwash series that I created, right? So if the sermon series is Brainwashed, does God really exist, or are we all just brainwashed? Step 1 is creating a landing page for the Brainwash series. So this might be faithchurch.com/brainwashed. And now we have a place to send all of our traffic from Facebook where someone can learn a little bit more about the series, maybe watch a promo video, and then plan a visit so they can show up on Sunday morning. Now, on the landing page, it's really important. If you say more than one thing, you say nothing at all. So you want to make sure that that landing page only talks about the brand new Brainwash series and then leads naturally into the call to action, which in this case is giving someone the opportunity to sign up and schedule an appointment to visit our church, which we call Plan Your Visit. So the best way to do this is at the top of the page, you want to have the name of the sermon series along with your hook point. So we would have the title Brainwashed and then the hook point, does God really exist or are we all just brainwashed? Then underneath that, we want to have a video of the pastor explaining a little bit more about the series and some of the problems that you're going to be solving or questions that you're going to be answering. So for example, in that video, you might say, hey, have you ever wondered why bad things happen to good people? Right? Have you ever wondered how a loving God can send people to hell? Have you ever wondered, has science disproven Christianity? Well, this Sunday in our brand new series, Brainwashed, does God really exist or are we all just brainwashed? We're going to be breaking down a brand new question about God every single Sunday and answering questions to the problems that have kept you up for years. Right? Then underneath, we want to have location and service times because 43% of people who are on a church website are there simply for location and service times. And then we want to have a little bit more information about the church. So pictures of bright, smiling, happy people who are laughing and high-fiving, pictures of kids or even kids services, right? We just want to have a few pictures that can give people a snapshot, kind of a 30,000-foot view of what the church looks like, who the people look like. And then you also want to have a part in there where they can check out you as the pastor, right? Because every single person who's thinking about coming to church is wondering two things. Number one, who's the pastor? And number two, who are the people? So we want to have a Meet the Pastor section on that landing page where they can learn a little bit more about you and your spouse. And then we also want to just have pictures of smiling, happy people who are inside the church. It's important, don't use stock photos or anything like that. Actually use good-looking professional photos of people in your church. Here's a rule of thumb. People click on themselves. Right? You've heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together. Well, people click on themselves, meaning they will click on ads or landing pages of people that look like them, meaning people that look like they're in the same season of life as them or the same age or have the same interests. I actually know of a church that had a dream to be a very diverse church, but they're about 99% African American. And so when the pastor came in, he said, here's what we're going to do is we're going to start posting pictures of the church that we actually want to attract. So they only had a few white people in the church, and guess what? They made it into all the Instagram posts, right? And then they said, you know what, man, we got a couple of Mexican families and we're going to take them and we're going to put them onto Instagram and in some of these families. And what's funny is the more you put out, the more you attract because people click on themselves. And so within about a year and a half, simply by changing the content they were putting out and some of the pictures they were putting out, they started attracting all different nationalities. Now it's one of the fastest growing and most diverse churches in the entire nation because they started with a simple strategy of putting out what they wanted to attract. All right, step number 2, run a Facebook ad. So now that you have your hook point and you created your landing page and you have the ability for people to sign up and plan a visit, now you want to create a targeted Facebook ad and you're going to run it to every single person who lives within driving distance of the church and you're going to send them to your landing page. So the best way to do this is simply to run a traffic ad, meaning that Facebook is going to optimize your ad to send as much traffic from Facebook to your landing page as possible. You can optimize this for link clicks, or if you take the time to drop the Facebook pixel on your website, you can actually optimize this for landing page views. That way, Facebook's going to optimize it not just for people that click on the ad, but for people that actually click on the ad and then wait for the landing page to load so that you're not paying for clicks of people that never make it to your website. Now, depending on what it is that you are trying to promote, I recommend either doing a picture of the pastor and your spouse or a video of you inviting people out, right? And the rule of thumb is that pictures are gonna work really well, but most of the time, videos are gonna outperform pictures. The biggest mistake that I see with people doing videos is that they wanna do this like a sermon bumper, right? So especially if you're a church who has a strong commitment to excellence and everything you do is really polished and done really, really well, the problem is that on social media looks like a commercial. And so people just keep scrolling. You need to create native content that's going to look like everything else on the platform. So if you're gonna create a video, you don't wanna shoot it horizontal, you actually wanna shoot it vertical, right? And this should be 30 to 45 seconds. It should be a selfie video shot on a smartphone, and there's no background music, no editing, there's no logo, and there's no lower thirds, right? Everything about this should just feel like you just picked up your phone as you're walking down the street and you just decided to post a video inviting everybody out to your new Brainwash series that starts this Sunday. The less polished this is, the more authentic it's gonna come across. Therefore, the more effective it's gonna be. And again, I know that sounds counterintuitive, and I work with churches so many different times who'd argue with me on this, say, no, we're gonna shoot it in a studio, we're gonna do it professional, right? And every single time, my selfie video outperforms their professional video. And I've literally done this hundreds of times over the years. It's because that's what works on Facebook. Hey, before I get to my last couple of points, hit that subscribe button. We have brand new videos coming out every single day, Monday through Friday, and I wanna make sure that you see them so you don't miss out on any of our content. All right, now in video one, we talked about creating one call to action. That might be show up on Sunday, it might be sign up for Plan Your Visit, it might be reserve a ticket or register for the conference, right? But it's important to only have one call to action, right? So the entire campaign should only have one call to action. If your call to action is Plan Your Visit, then that's the only call to action that you wanna have on there. You don't wanna say, hey, email us for more information or call the church for more info or anything like that. It should just be Plan Your Visit. And you want that call to action to be on your landing page multiple times, right? If you say more than one thing, then you say nothing at all. So you wanna make sure that you're only saying one thing, and you want people to, as they continue to go through your campaign, all they see is Plan Your Visit. Plan your visit, plan your visit. And then they start to realize, oh, the next step if I want to go to church on Sunday is to click on Plan Your Visit and to sign up and schedule an appointment to go to the Brainwash series on Sunday morning. And finally, point number 4, follow up. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know we are huge on follow-up here. It's because the average person only goes to church 1.2 times per month, right? I'm sure you see this in your church all the time. And again, that was before COVID, right? So we have to follow up with people over an extended period of time, at least 6 weeks, right? And preferably 12 weeks. And that follow-up system has to be automated because sure, you can keep track of a couple of people and where they're at in the process. But once you start having dozens or even hundreds of visitors, there's no way anyone can stay on top of that type of a follow-up system. So we recommend using Text in Church, which is a great way to create an automated follow-up system. In fact, they've already built a 6-week follow-up system that's already built, and literally you can click one button and set it up for your church. If you want to check that out, we actually have a link down in the description where you can get 90 days of Text in Church absolutely free, and you can start setting up your follow-up system for this Sunday. Okay, so if you like this video and you want to learn more about how to use Facebook in order to reach more people and grow your church, go check out my other video, What Do You Do When Your Church Is Not Growing? We'll see you soon.